Hello friends, welcome back to another edition of Java Learning. Today our topic is method overloading. The total concept of method overloading in this video I'll try to explain using a Java program. So let us take a question. Design a class to overload a function volume as follows. So you will name the class as overload and you will have a function. You will have many functions by this name only. Now, what is method overloading? When you have more than one method by the same name, see here, volume, 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 but the parameters are different. Here you have double R, here you have two variables that are double type, and here you have three variables, right? So this is must that in a method overloading the method name would be same, but the parameter list, that is formal parameter list, would be different. Here I have one parameter, here you have two, here you have three. Now this may differ in number of variables or it may differ in data types. Okay, now compiler, if they find another, suppose if you have another method that is volume where you write double k double n, so you cannot really do that because to Java yes, to compiler, data type matters. H and R, it will see the data type and according to that it will call the method. So the same data type and the same number of variables will not do. Keep that thing in mind. Here it will not matter because here you have only one variable, that is double type, and what it is doing actually, that is this particular method is working with R, that is radius, and it is returning a double data type, that is double volume. Here it is not void. If you have void, then you can write what system.out.println for printing the volume, but here you have to return the volume of a sphere. In the second one, you are returning the volume of a cylinder, for which you need to know the height and the radius, because the formula says 22 by 7 into r square into h. So r and h you need to know. And the third one, you need to know the length, breadth and height, and as per that you will return the volume. The formula is given L into B into H. After writing these three methods, you will create main method and there you will create object to call this non-static methods. Let us straightway go to our BlueJ window where I have written the code already. I'll not take much time to make you understand this concept of method overloading. So you need to ask different data like radius, height, then here you need to know about length, breadth, height. So for asking the different types of values, you need scanner class. The class name is overload, and as per this specification I have written what public, this method is returning a double data type volume, and you are passing as parameter what, capital R, that is a radius. Whatever value you pass that is of double data type will be stored here, and then you will calculate volume, for which I have declared a variable v, which is initially 0.0. Now 4 by 3, this will do what, this is integer, this is also integer. So integer division, if you do, it will take the integer part only, point something will be discarded. So I don't want to discard it, so for that I have done what, explicit conversion. Okay, same thing out here also, 22/7. And math.pow r to the power 3, you cannot write with exponent symbol. We don't have in Java. For that we are using math function math.pow, that is radius to the power 3. This entire calculation is taking place, and this is the value that is being returned. Now let us see the second function, public. This is also returning double data type, the same name, volume, but here you need to ask height and radius. As per that, you are declaring volume. Now calculating here volume of the question was what? Volume of a cylinder. Second program is returning volume of a cylinder. Okay, and the third one is returning volume of a cuboid, for which you need to know length, breadth and height. Okay, and this method is also returning a double data type. So after writing all the methods, suppose if I don't write this here, if I close the main method, and let me do this as a comment line. This part I'll show you later, right? After doing this, you will do what? You will run the program. Let us now compile. No syntax error. Now in this case, you have to create an object of the class. Okay, so here you have created an object of the class. After that, if you want to call this method, so you give a double value 6.7, and this method is returning the volume of the first one was sphere, volume of a sphere. And in the same way you can call this method and this method, but I'm not going to create object this way. I'm going to create object in the main method. Now let me remove this part. Let me explain the main method. And I have to also remove this, because this is a part of a class only. So main method you have written, this is my calling method. This method is calling the above methods. Now for calling the above methods, you have to create an object of the class. The class name was overload and the object name is OB. You can give any name, new, and you're calling the default constructor for creating the object. Now you have created an object OB, and for that reason you can access all these methods, right? Now I have also created an object of the scanner class, because I need to know the radius of a sphere. Okay, so I have created an object of the scanner class. After that, very simple, you are asking the radius, then the radius is being stored in R. Okay, that is double type, and then you are calling the method ob.volume and you are passing R, which is double data type, right? So it is going here and storing that R's value. There R is, it will create no problem, because capital R you have declared in the main method, which is local to main method. So that value will come here and it will reside in this local variable of this method volume. As per that, it will calculate the volume of a sphere and it will return the volume. So in this method, you are calling, and that method is throwing a value. So here there must be some some variable to catch it, right? So I'm declaring a variable double v1 for storing the return value. and then you are printing volume of a sphere is V1. In the same manner, you are calling here, the second method where you need to pass two double data, right? So here you are asking first, okay, enter height and radius of a cylinder, and then you are storing in R, H and R1. R1 why? Because in the main method you cannot declare again R, so R1. So you are passing H and R1 to double data type. It's going there, calculating everything, throwing a value that is being received by V2, and then you're printing volume of a cylinder is V2, right? I think it is visible. And then after that you are coming to you want to call the third method here, cuboid one. Okay, for that you need to know the length, breadth and height of a cylinder, cuboid. So you're storing length here, breadth here, height here, and you're passing all these values to this method, and you're calling this method with the help of this object. It is going to this method, calculating everything, and V is being returned. So here the value will be received by V3, and you're printing volume of a cuboid is V3, right? Now let us compile and let me show you the output. When you have main method, you just execute this. Okay, so here you come, it is asking for the radius. Let me give 3.7. So volume of a sphere is this. The next method you're calling, it is asking for height 6.7. okay, this is height, and radius let me give 9.6 or 7, whatever. So this is the volume of a cylinder, and the third one is length, breadth and height 34.6. this is length, this is suppose breadth, and suppose height is this. As per that, volume of a cuboid is this. So this is how you are creating an object and calling the different methods of that particular class called overload, right? So this was the class overload, and you had different functions, and from the main method you are calling all the above methods. I hope all of you have understood this particular question. Go through the video again. This type of questions are very common for ICSE, so try to get it. If you don't understand for the first time, see the video once more. Thank you so much for watching this video. Keep watching and keep learning from E-SHIKSHA. Thank you so much.